friends, happy Saturday to you. Wow, we had some summer and now we're having winter again, and it's like 37, but that's okay. You know, it's better than the minus temperatures that we were having. Obviously I like weather. You know, I like to know what the temperature is. I like to know what it's going to do, but ultimately there's nothing at all you can do about it. So it's good to just learn to roll with it. No matter what, just roll with it. I'm working on some hearts today, and I'm doing 3 different kinds of hearts, and I'll do 3 different videos that kind of show you the ins and outs of creating these. I am working on a few metal hearts. Let's see, I don't know how to put this. I'm not a pink girl. I mean, pink is fine, but I do like alternative colors when thinking about putting stuff together. So to me, there's a real juxtaposition between having a heart and having a metal heart. And I like the way that this comes out, and I'm going to show you this technique. These are my heavy metal hearts that I sometimes use on the heavy metal journals that I make, and I'll be making more heavy metal journals with hearts over the next month or so as we go into the Valentine's season. The other heart that I'm going to show you guys how to make is a very simple paper bag heart, and these come out so nicely, and I just think that they're the sweetest little gift for someone. I've sent these to my mom and dad and to some special friends. They look rustic, they kind of look alternative, and that's why I like them so much. Plus, it's something you can make out of a paper bag. You gotta love that, right? The third little heart, and the one that we're going to do right now, is just a mixed media fabric heart. It is a no-sew craft. I admire people who can sew on a sewing machine. I cannot. I can hand sew, and I do a pretty good job of that, but I am not a sewing machine person. Really do admire those of you who can do that. But these are fun. It's a nice way to use scraps. It's easy because it's no sew. You can do whatever you want. It's one of those freedom projects that you can just do whatever you want with. But I'm going to show you how I do mine, and then you guys, you know, you come up with your very own ways of doing things. The first thing that I do is I cut a heart out of well, you know what? The first thing I do, and this is what I always do, and this is what I probably have not explained to you guys. When I have a little craft project going on, I call my stash, and you guys know how much I really do like to do that. I go through my stash and I'll pick out some favorite things that I like to work with, and I'll put them in a box that pertains to the craft that I am working on at the moment. Now in this case, I have a little bit of texture, some buttons. I went to my ribbon box and pulled off some ribbons. I keep my ribbon spools on clothes hangers. You know, the clothes hangers that have the cardboard in the middle of them. The cardboard slips off, and then you can just put your spools of whatever you're working with on the clothes hanger. Works out really good. And then I decided, well, you know, I'm working with grays and blacks and neutral colors and whites and things like that, but you know, I might want to work with some colors, so I got a few colors to work with. I got a little bit of lace from my fabric drawer, felt from my fabric drawer, and more lace and crochet-ish kind of stuff, and more burlap from my little stash. And this is just a box of bling. It seemed to work out kind of nicely, so I've got my little bling box here. And then I also culled my brad stash and just have some brads that I think would be great for this project. I've also got a safety pin in here because I was thinking about using a safety pin on this project as well. So let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to dig in my little box right here. Now see, this is so nice because you've got, you know, you've got your stuff right here to work with, and I love that. First thing that I want to do is grab a piece of burlap. Now I think my friend Judy gave this to me. I'm not quite sure, but I think it was Judy. And then my mom gave me this, so I wanted to work with this. Let's do our base first, okay? The first thing that I want to do, I'm going to turn this lamp on, y'all. I can't see. A little bit dark today. I think we're not expecting snow until, whoops, sorry y'all. Uh-oh, are you okay there? Are you all right? Okay. Not expecting snow until Wednesday, but darn, it's kind of dark outside. Makes you wonder. We're going to just cut out a little heart, you know, rough cut it. I really don't like using patterns. Okay, and then, so we've rough cut a little burlap part. It's good, y'all, if your burlap is kind of an open weave, because that helps you when you start to put this together, because it's put together with brads. It helps if this is an open weave on the back, but if it's not, it's okay. Don't worry about it. The next little thing that we're going to cut out is, and I've got my felt in my lap here, cutting a small square of it, which I should have done before I started. Okay, so I've got a small square of felt here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I am not going to be fussy about the size of the heart, okay? I just want another heart. You know, make it approximately the same size. You don't have to, if this is a project that the rougher it looks, the better it turns out. Okay, so we've got our second heart here. The next thing that I want to do is cut more burlap. So I've got more burlap here. Cut some heart out of that. And put that one on top of here. You can do this any way you want, okay? You can stack it a different way. I'm just showing you how I stacked mine. And you can tell, I mean, nothing is even. That's the whole idea, to, you know, not make anything. Don't be persnickety about your shapes of your hearts or anything like that. Be super free with it. And then I'm going to do some lace. Now, I did white lace with this, so I'm kind of thinking I might do some pink. Like I said, I'm not a huge pink fan, but let's see what it looks like. And this isn't like a shocking pink either. This is kind of a, you know, a sweet little lighter pink. So I'm going to cut a heart out of that. And there we go with that. Now, what I did with this one was I cut this lace heart in half, because I kind of used some on one side. I stacked a little bit. This is definitely a stacking mixed media kind of thing. So I'm going to put a little bit right here. I'm going to put this over here. The third thing I did with this one, well, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 layers. Was take a little bit of, just a little bit of crochet. And something that I thought was very pretty that a friend of mine sent me. And I'm just going to cut that. I'm not going to bother about a heart shape with this. The nice thing about using this crochet was that it had kind of a scalloped edge right here, which was nice. So I'm just going to put that right there. That's looking good. Trying to determine if I need anything on top. I don't think I do. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do with this, you can see how random this is, y'all. It's not like one of those, I don't like step by step. I like sit down with a pile of stuff and do your thing. Do your thing, you know, not somebody else's thing. Though there's nothing wrong with that. I like these little flowers, so I cut a little flower out of the same doily. And, you know, me saying doily, I'm thinking this would be great to use doilies. You could use coffee filters, you know, anything that has just a little bit of bulk to it because you're layering. And the layering is to me, that's the super fun part. All right, so I've got this done. Now I'm using some pink, so I think that I'll use a little bit of red. And what I'm going to do with this is just stick it somewhere. I don't know where. Let's stick it under here and see how it looks. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. All right, and then I think I'll stick some, I'll lift up this burlap and just stick a little under here. I like the way that looks. That looks kind of cool. I'm not going to use any buttons right now. I think I'm just going to use brads. I've done a couple of these where I've sewn buttons onto them, but right now I think I'm just going to do brads. Like I said, I went through and culled my stash. To me, y'all, that's just the easiest way to work. It's less clutter on your desk. A lot of people can work with clutter, and it's great if that's your thing, then that's great. You know, if you can work with a desk that's got a whole bunch of stuff on it, that is cool. But I cannot. The more stuff that's here, the less I'm able to make a decision, and then I waste a whole lot of time. I realized that I have this little pink heart here that I cut into. I'm not sure if that would look. Oh, okay. That looks pretty cool. All right. Now I'm going to start putting this together. Like I said, I went through my brads and I culled my stash. So I'm thinking, you know, we've got some gold going on here. So I might use something kind of sparkly. I've got these awesome stars from Art Angel that I really dig. I've got a little pink flower that I think might look kind of cool. And I've got some of these super cool things called dots. And I'll show them to you. Someone sent them to me. But you can put a dot on a brad. So I kind of think that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to choose one of these little pink dots and stick it on this brad. I hope it sticks. Might have to have some glue. Is it going to stick? It's not going to stick. I am going to have a drop of glue. Okay, let me grab my glue. Let's put a little drop right here. Don't you guys love this new Eileen's tacky glue that you can store upside down? Is that not just the smartest thing ever? Oh golly, I went to the craft store yesterday and they have a lot of stuff for 80% off, and I snagged stars. I think that, you know, it's around the time of year where you're starting to see a lot of deep discounts on Christmas things, and stars are one of those things that's so applicable all the time. So I'm always kind of on the lookout for stars when I see things like that. All right, so we fixed our little brad, and we've got these brads going on. Let me grab. Let's see what else I have in here. I think I have. Now these are really super tiny brads. You know, those really bitty, teeny, tiny baby brads. I'm going to grab a couple of those. Another star. Another tiny brad. Alright, I think that's enough to get us started. I'm kind of worried about this because that dot hasn't dried quite yet. But let's go ahead and see if we can smush this through here. All right, it's really easy, y'all. You're just gonna, you know, kind of lace the brad through your fabrics, through that felt. And you might discover your brad getting like really short, and that's okay. And the felt is kind of hard to push through, but just take your fingers and kind of push it through. All right, and now we want one more push. And we can flip up our heart and kind of squish that brad down right there. There we go. My dot came off. All right, that's good. That's a good start. That's a good anchor right there. All right, let's kind of decide. Let's let this be another anchor. And, what are we going to do with this one? Let's see if this one will go through. You know how some brads are kind of sharpish and some aren't? Let's see if we can get this one to go through. Oh, see, I don't think that one's going to go through, y'all. Let's just try it. Let's give it a go. Yeah, it's not going to go through. It's a little too dull on the back. All right, that is okay. We need an anchor up here. Let's do a star. These star brads were quite sharp on the back. It's not quite the thing I wanted right there, but I bet we'll love it once we get it on there. You might have to, you know, if this is a, if your burlap is tightly woven, you might have to just wiggle it. And definitely the felt, once you reach the felt portion, you have to kind of push it up. There's an inauguration going on today here. So there's been a lot of interesting helicopters and flyovers and things like that. You might hear that in the background. Lots of helicopters. What did you say?
Thank you for lunch.
Say hello to everybody. Say hello. Chris came upstairs to thank me for lunch. Wasn't that sweet? He always says thank you. All right. Hey, that looks pretty good. Okay, I like that. I love stars. I love stars. Okay, so we've kind of, do you see what's happened here, y'all? We've kind of got our anchor things going. I have some of these, and I thought this would make a nice little thank you gift for somebody. You know, if you want to use like a brad that has a word on it or something, or maybe you might want to use like an XOXO, or, you know, maybe choose a date that means something to you. You know, maybe the anniversary of a first date, or a wedding anniversary, or whatever. All right, so we've got these done. I'm going to pull out a few more here, a few more brads, and just kind of choose holes to stick them through. You can see how fun this is, and you can see that you can use scrap fabric, you can use burlap, you can use doilies, you can use paper, coffee filters, you know, just anything that's stackable. Oh, that looks super cool. Okay, here we go. Let's see, what else? And a couple more brads on here. This one's kind of a tarnished color. I've got blue, I've got black, I've got silver, but I don't think those are going to go through. Hey, Oh, that's pretty. That's got like a rhinestone in it. And this one does too. So those would look pretty here. Let's work on this side. Oh, there it goes. You have to be really patient with it. Sometimes it's hard to see. There we go. All right. Oh, that's pretty. That kind of is a very, has a rhinestone in it. And this one does too. So I think I'll put this one over here. And then we'll grab our stick-on rhinestones and see if there's anything else that we want to do with this. Okay. Alright, it's looking pretty good. I'm going to have something to hold this over here. So I'm just going to do another star right there. Since those are super nice and sharp, I can poke those through pretty easily. And I like the juxtaposition, the metal against the metal against the, you know, the lace, you know, the frilly lace. I like things like that. I like things that are, that don't exactly go together, you know, that are almost opposite. Because you've got the, you know, the very, gentleness of the lace, and then the industrial look of the studs poking through here. So that looks super cool. I'm really not sure if there's anything else I want to do to this. I think I might put a pearl, a stick-on pearl right here. And there we go. I think that's it. I kind of like it. Alright, guys. A no-sew fabric heart for your sweetie. Join me for the heavy metal tutorial, heavy metal heart tutorial, and the paper bag heart tutorial that are coming up. Thank you guys so much. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.